Hi, I'm Ananya. I'm a junior content manager with Trip 101. Today, I'm welcoming here with me Silvia, who's joined us all the way from Philippines, and we're going to talk about a beautiful property, Tepanee Beach Resort, that's located on Malapascua Island in the Philippines. And Silvia, who's joining us today, is one of the owners of this beautiful property. So we're very pleased to welcome you, Silvia. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. Thank
Yeah,
you.
likewise. We're very happy to welcome you here. So, Sylvia, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you end with working and being the owner of Tepanee Beach Resort?
Um, with my husband, that is another one of the owners, we like very much to travel around. And we are not pretty young, but we started when we were very young, traveling all around the world. We are both Italian, and we like very much, pretty much everything, from skiing to scuba diving, traveling, riding, everything. And like about 25 years ago, he came first by himself and with a friend. We didn't met yet, actually, in the Philippines, because someone was suggesting him to come and visit the best beaches and everything. Still wild. Actually, 25 years ago, the Philippines were really very nice, and Malapascua was really a paradise. And so when we met, just after we met, he told me, go to the Philippines. I want to show you something. Because in Italy, for example, that time Philippines were not popular at all. And we came here for scuba diving, actually, because Malapascua is the only place in the world where you can see the treasure sharks. Is a particular kind of sharks that actually are in all the over the oceans, all the sea, everywhere, even in Italy, even everywhere. But usually they stay very deep, so 200 meters deep, something like. Instead, in around Malapascua, there are some shoals where you can see them even in 10 meters. So it's also a very easy scuba dive. And that time, the sharks actually were very shy, probably not yet used to the people, lucky them. But
Mhm.
now it's very easy to see the sharks. Even now, they discovered tiger sharks and other kind of sharks. And where we are now, so just in front of me, there is Tepanee. And just out of the beach, no need of scuba dive, there is a bunch of black tip reef sharks, very small. From the baby are like 40 centimeters, and you can snorkel there. So we came to the Philippines first many years ago, also trying to find a location where to move from Italy, just to spend the cold Italian winter time somewhere else. Of course, we needed to find a place where to have also some income. And my husband had a building construction company before to relocate in the Philippines. So it was an easy job for him. Not really easy, but easier for him. And so we started building few cottages just for friends to welcome them when they were coming to visit us. But actually, we didn't even finish to build the cottages, and we had already people asking to stay because they really liked the location. And really, Malapascua was very quiet at that time, and we were the only one having the running water, fresh water, desalination, and a lot of things. So in 2006, we relocated to Malapascua and we opened Tepanee in 2008 because my husband did all the constructions, all the projects and everything from forest. That's a little bit sad to say, but we tried also to keep all the trees, to keep all the plants. It was really a nice project. No rush, no nothing, was really quiet, very nice. And this is the result.
So almost 15 years since you started?
More than,
15
more
years.
than.
Yeah.
Actually, I am based in Malapascua already since 17 years, and my
Mm.
husband a little bit longer. But yes, we needed some more long job to open the hotel in the proper way, because in Malapascua there was nothing, no electricity, no running water, no nothing. So we had also to, let's say, create all the facilities.
Yeah.
And
And
it was
and
nice.
that it's the sharks that drew you here.
Yes, it was really nice. It was just a very good reason.
Definitely.
Yeah, yes. So more or less what in the back of me. is the
Yeah.
place where you can snorkel with the baby sharks. And now
Oh,
so many people is coming to swim here because you just go down from the beach and in, let's say, 20 centimeters of water, you have the sharks already surrounding you.
yeah.
It's also fishes, of course, and corals. Very nice. But is
So they're right at your footsteps. Like once you
yes,
reach the resort,
really, really right at the stop, the footsteps of the resort.
that's wonderful.
It's a nice place. I mean,
Yeah.
still very nice. Now is that there was evolution, so of course there are many hotels, dive shops, restaurants, many things. And we have the electricity now, the public electricity, not yet the water, but in Tepanee we have desalination machines and everything. So it's pretty comfortable now.
So I want to know a little bit more about the beach that you have, where you have baby sharks swimming right there. The beach on your property, it's a private beach.
What in the picture? So what is facing the ocean is from the government because everywhere in the Philippines, what is touching the ocean is not private property. So let's say then there is the tide, but let's say 20 meters inside. So after the tide, then is our private property. And the beach is with beach beds, beach umbrella. We have a small pool. There is a beach restaurant and bar. So the people can relax. And mostly we really like to stay in the beach. More or less is always pretty full. And the plus are the sharks. But of course, you can just go and swim and enjoy the nature, enjoy everything. Or if you like to take the sun bath or just to cool down in the pool is cold, let's say cool, not really very cold because it's impossible to be cold, but you cool down just laying
Hmm.
down is a pool for kids, or if you like to sit, there are, let's say, chairs in concrete inside the pool, and you can just have a drink or chat with people, and then it's just in the back of the spa. So everything is located around the beach because of that. And it's really very much attractive. It's white, as you can see, and it's really nice. It's a real tropical paradise.
So, so what you were saying that 20 meters away from the water, like the shore itself, that would be
Yes,
like a private area that the guests would,
yes,
only
exactly.
the guests would be able to access.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's more comfort. Even if we are not crazy young. We don't really like the noise, the disco, that kind of stuff. So if we have also very young guests, but in 2 minutes walking, they reach the main beach, and there they can make whatever they like, noisy disco, dance, party, fiesta, everything. But we prefer to give the option to all our guests if they want to relax. This is the
Yeah,
place.
right.
And if they want to entertain and enjoy, we have another restaurant somewhere else, not very far, it's last 200 steps, but in a different beach. Is up a hill facing a different beach because Tiffany is up some hill, so you can always find a quiet place.
Hmm.
And this what you see in my back because is also the water there is has been declared a marine protected area. It's very small, but we must and we want to keep it quiet and clean. And so of course it's not allowed people making gathering in the water and something like that.
Yeah,
And this is what is our also is our choice.
yeah.
Luckily the government decided to declare that area as a marine protected area. But if you see in the picture, just in the back of that small island, let's say peninsula in the back, there is another beach, and that's allowed to do whatever the people wants to run, to play volleyball or whatever, to walk and to swim properly. In front instead is protected, but it's I think
Okay.
more than what we need.
No, it makes a lot of sense that the beach on your own property is a quiet one for more for relaxing. And then if people want to take up more activities or if they want to do a little bit of beach party, then they can
Yes,
head over to a more like a different beach, which is more suited for those kind
yes.
of
Yeah, we are
uh,
very lucky because we have the two beaches. Actually, are three because there is another one facing our entrance in a different position, and so we can keep for different purposes.
yeah. So the other one that you mentioned, like the one which is more of, which has more beach activities and restaurants and like a party kind of scene. Is
Yeah.
that one like a public beach, part of the public beach?
Yes, that is a public beach where everybody can go. And there are many opportunities like happy hour and also disco in the night, of course. Not.
Okay.
And there are many different activities, more like a popular island, let's say, is not
Okay.
need to be in a tropical. This area, the part we keep quiet is more on a tropical island, quiet and white sand and very
Yeah.
clear water, very nice. Also the other one, but the other areas, public, are really more on entertaining the
Yeah.
young and something like that. That's okay. At
Yeah.
least we have the option.
What is the public beach called?
It's called Bounty Beach.
Bounty Beach.
Don't ask
Yeah.
me why, because I don't know. Was a foreigner naming this beach Bounty Beach from a movie, I think, like more than 20 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. I'd love to know like what the weather is like over there. Do you have varying seasons through the year or does it say more or less same throughout?
Is more or less the same weather all around the year. The locals, of course, they consider to have seasons, but coming from Europe, where winter is really cold and summertime is really warm, for us is not so much. Let's say in Celsius degrees, the minimum we recorded personally in Malapascua was 24 degrees in the night, and it's in January. And now in August, the minimum is around 29. So
Okay.
it's not really a big
Not that
difference.
much.
No. And the maximum temperature, let's say in winter time, so January is like 30, 29 to 30. And now in August, that is considered summertime, is 36. Malapascua is really very lucky as weather conditions because it's protected by all the islands very because Malapascua is very small, but all around we are surrounded by many big and with high mountains islands. And
Yeah.
so it's very well protected by the other islands and
Mm,
mountains, and the weather is very much stable. Luckily,
great.
we don't have so many, let's say, typhoon, but it's okay. We don't have even the monsoon. So no raining season, is just wet season now. That means there is humidity, and the dry season is winter time. So it's always very good weather, and
Mm.
is always very easy to scuba dive all the year round.
Oh,
Sharks
that's
are,
great.
yeah, sharks
Yeah.
are all in the water, so it's always easy to find whatever the people is. Great.
That's great. Yeah. I think around this time of the year, a lot of locations in the Philippines are experiencing monsoon and typhoons and all of that. So
Yeah.
you're protected from that.
Yeah, actually, we are really very lucky.
Mm.
It's a
Yeah.
very lucky location, this one. Yeah, we didn't know. My husband and I, when we came, we were not even familiar to bad weather, monsoon, typhoon, because in Italy we didn't have any sort of things like that. So we were not focusing on that. But when we understood that we were in this position, we were very happy actually.
Yeah,
We
that's why
thought
you
we
call
to
it
be
a
very lucky.
paradise.
Yes.
So is the weather same throughout? Do you have a peak season when like most of your guests arrive, or does it also say stay similar more or less?
No, there is a peak season, but is more related to the vacation all over the world, like
Okay.
Christmas, New Year, Easter
Hmm.
time. So what we consider peak season is usually from November to high season is November to June. Peak season are that public holidays and even the Golden Week in China and something like that, because luckily we are very near to many big town like Hong Kong and or
Yeah.
China like that. So many people is coming for that kind of holidays, and this is big season in the Philippines. And then
Uh,
let's say low season is the summertime because it's considered very warm.
hmm.
But in my hometown is much worse than here, and very okay in here.
Yeah, from November to
May,
March,
let's
May.
no May included May included. So up to let's say we decided our rates. So for the hotel, the rates are high season from November to May included,
Okay,
and low season June to October.
June to October. Okay, so November to May is your high season, and the other half is low
Yes,
season.
but
Yeah.
not related to the weather. Is only
Okay.
related to the people, more people coming because of that, because of public
Yeah.
holiday.
Makes sense. So if someone's planning to visit during your high season, how much in advance should they reach out to you? How much in advance should they book?
In high season, let's say some month is better. Peak season, so public holidays, 6 months, or they don't find the opportunity to choose the
Six
room.
months. 6 months
Yeah,
in advance. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. If they
Okay.
want to have the option to choose exactly the dates and the kind of accommodation, yes.
Okay. I'd love to know, like, what are the accommodation options that you have available? Do you have special rooms which are directly on the beach itself?
Yes, we have what we call deluxe. We have first the big difference is cottages and rooms. So
Okay.
cottages are bungalow, independent buildings, and these are of course the more expensive because are in the independent building facing the ocean directly, not in the beach because in the beach you cannot build, but is
Mm.
are just a little bit in the back, but is like few meters. Maybe you can see from the
Okay.
and that are with the full ocean view. And actually, we are facing the sunset. So it's also sunset view. It's really nice. The sunset
Mm.
in Malapascua are crazy, very pink, very bright, and really fun in some way. And that are called deluxe cottages. And
Okay.
then just in the second line, but still not exactly in the back, but with some view, there are superior cottages. And then instead, only with garden view, we have rooms. And there are buildings with 6 or 4 rooms together, not adjoining, just built together with the independent entrance. So no problem about privacy, no problem about it was to give more to build a little bit more because we had a lot of people asking for more rooms. So we my husband decided, okay, they are in the back. We can make only rooms and not cottages. So
Okay.
we have 27 between cottages and rooms
Mm.
and the deluxe cottages, so the best are only 6. This is why we always tell better to book in advance a little bit if people is interested in the ocean view, the sunset view, and
Yeah. So for ocean views, almost 6 months in advance and book a deluxe cottage.
yes,
And you mentioned the sunset views are the ones that one needs to look out for.
from the cottages you see the protected area, so the ocean. You can see depends on the light, but many times you can see the sharks swimming.
Mm.
And at the sunset, you have all that fantastic scenery, really very beautiful. So it's
Yeah.
really, this is the reason why we are more or less always fully booked in the deluxe spot. Are very much requested. It's also like for honeymooners and like that. But even
Mm.
friends, old people, they like very much to relax in the room and to have that fantastic view. It's really nice.
Yeah, must be, especially if you can also see the sharks as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's really. I have many movies and pictures with the sharks from the balcony. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
What about your dining options? You mentioned you have a restaurant on the beach, I think.
We have 2 different restaurants, and let's say that after during pandemic we were closed, like I think everywhere in the world,
Mm.
and so we instead of keeping opening all the restaurants, we were swapping morning in one place and lunch in another place and dinner in the other one. And now we are still in low season. We are still doing like that. So the beach restaurant and bar is always open during the day from 9 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon. Let's say that sunset is at 6. So then
Yeah.
we can close because the beach is nobody wants to stay in the beach during the night because they want to do something different. And
Mm.
so we open the panoramic restaurant. The other one we have it for breakfast because it's much bigger. So we have the breakfast buffet and everybody is okay. And it's also panoramic. So you can have breeze and you can see the bay with the pier. It's really interesting. And during the night, we also have dinner there.
Mm.
And it's all inside. The property is more or less 1 hectare. And anyway, if the people doesn't want to walk, it's not really a big issue. It's not so far, everything. But I have to say that we have steps. So what we need to tell always to everybody, if there are issues about making steps, more or less there are steps like 20 steps from the reception to the highest room up the
Mm.
hill, and then 20 steps down to the beach. And the same 20 steps going to the restaurant up or going to the restaurant in the beach.
Okay.
More or less, we had, because we are Italians, and we had friends, and they were coming to work as chefs. And so our restaurants are serving many Italian dishes, like, of
Mhm.
course, pasta and pizza. But we are in the Philippines, so we don't want to disappoint the Asian guests. And
Mm.
so serving many fusion dishes between Filipino and also Mediterranean and some American. We have, of course, like fish always is the main because fish here
Mm.
is really good. But we have vegan options, we have vegetarian options, and we can take care of all the allergy like gluten free, something like that. More or
Okay.
less, yeah, we have burgers, we have a lot of different dishes.
That's really
We try
nice.
to please everybody because our clients are more or less all international, not only locals or not only Italians. Of course, we don't want Italians,
Yeah.
and we cannot have actually, so it's fine. So we need to be able to prepare all the different dishes. We can also work on order if there are problems about food or something like that. We can try because we have pretty good chefs.
Do you have a dish that's like a bestseller? People really compliment you on it or something like that?
Always, don't ask me, but always the people is looking for pizza.
Okay.
And yeah, no, we have our best seller, but yeah, more or less, fish is always going as best because we have the fishermen bringing us the fresh fish every day.
Mm,
So we
local
have a lot of,
catch.
yeah, it's really nice. Also, fish burger are very much requested. And more or less, we have many dishes that the people request, but many people come because they know that we are Italian and our pizza is really good and our pasta is also really good. And then the
Mm.
Italians, of course, are ordering something else because they can
Okay.
have it in Italy. But many people like to eat in our place because
Mm.
we have everything fresh. Also, the fresh fruit juice, vegetables is everything made at the time of the order. We have good coffee that is really nice for me.
Yeah.
And also the dessert, we have the ice cream, we have many local desserts that are really good. And more or less, we have seen that people is happy to eat. Many other opportunities in Malapascua anyway. We have
Mm.
Korean restaurants around, we have Chinese, we have what else? Filipino, of course. Street
Mm.
food, local food, but pretty much the people is appreciating.
Uh, how far away are you from like these other restaurants that are available in Malapascua?
Malapascua is very small. So we are at the southwest corner of the island, but
Mm.
the farthest place is 3 kilometers. So it's really not so far. And the other
Okay.
restaurant, yeah, the other restaurant are in what we call Bounty Beach, the one that I
Mm.
mentioned before,
Mm.
and it's 5 minutes walking on the beach.
Okay.
And in the second line, so inside where the villages are, it's the market where they call the street food, the local Filipino restaurants, still
Mm.
5 minutes walking. And yeah, it's pretty easy to reach everywhere in Malapascua.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
many dining options within the
Yes,
resort itself. They will have many options, and then
yes,
outside also there are
yes.
quite a few places that you can drop by at.
Yeah, very easy and very nice.
That's great. Yeah. What does a day of a guest look like when they're staying with you at Tepanee? So, what does their day usually look like?
What do they do during the day, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like if a
Uh,
guest is staying with you.
yeah, yeah. It depends on if he's a scuba diver or not. Scuba divers, mostly we never see them. They are always underwater. Malapascua is really beautiful underwater, and the dive shops organize day trips, more or less. So the signature dive with the treasure sharks is very early in the morning and all along the morning up to noon. So more or less they stay out for 3 dives and they leave at 5 in the morning and they come back at 2 in the afternoon.
Hmm.
Usually they have also lunch on board that is organized very good. And so in the afternoon they come, they relax in the beach, they go snorkeling with the sharks or they have massage. And now, for example, that is summertime, so it is pretty warm. They just stay in the hotel.
Hmm.
During the other seasons, sometimes they go walking to discover the villages. or they go for a snorkel tour or around by boats, walking, bicycle, or boats. But now, for what I see, that is pretty warm. They are all or in the pool, the cooling pool, or
Hmm.
having massage because the spa has the aircon, or swimming in the ocean just in front of the hotel because walking around is too hot during the day.
Yeah.
They are not used, more or less. Now we have many people coming from North Europe, where is not. So, of course, they are very happy to be in the tropical paradise, but they feel really hot. So they
Yeah.
prefer to stay near in the way they can always cool down in the room with aircon or just swimming in the water that is pretty hot.
Okay.
They, if they are divers, they wake up very early in the morning, they stay out up to noontime. When they come back, they relax in the beach and then, or massage or something like that. And then dinner time, if they are not tired enough, they can have a walk or they go to sleep.
Hmm.
And the
Yeah.
non-divers are waiting for the divers because more or less everybody is related to a scuba diver around, and more or less they can organize boat tour around, or they just wait for the friends or the relatives in the beach. So they lay down in the beach beds, they have drinks, something like, or they swim, they walk around, and then the same. They can have massage, they can organize. Mostly they like to exchange photos with the friends, something like. We have a very good Wi-Fi connection because we have Starlink, so at
Hmm.
least it's very fast because in these remote islands, if not, of course, we don't have any fiber, we don't have any provided by. So this is that we can have. We are recording and it works pretty well. And so many people likes very much to chat and they send pictures around. So they are also promoting us.
Yeah.
It's a very quiet and simple life, really related to the ocean, to the sea, and there is
Hmm.
nothing so challenging unless you can take a boat and go to the mainland, and then you can spend a day shopping, something like that. But in
Hmm.
here, nice to relax.
Yeah. You just embrace the natural beauty around you.
Yes,
Yeah.
really.
So for the divers that are staying with you, do they tend to bring in their own gear and arrange their own excursions, or do you help provide that as well?
More or less, all the divers, if they are really keen on diving, they bring their own gear, but we arrange for them everything else. So we
Okay.
arrange, we have dive shops, we work with them, and we already arrange everything for the divers when they come. So the time they step inside Tepanee, they already have the dive shop waiting for them to explain them where to go, what to do, all the schedule of the week, depending on the weather and their skills, of course. But more or less, it's everything already organized. If instead they are walking, we can do it in few minutes because they can also rent the equipment, they can rent all the gear they need. And I told you, Malapascua is really born and grown on the scuba diving. So it's
Yeah.
everything available. At
Okay.
really few seconds, everything is available and organized.
Yeah. They just need to book a room with you, and then once they come, it's quite easy to just arrange the dive tour
Yeah,
by
they
calling.
they can do everything in advance if they want. They can book everything from the as soon as they reach the airport in Cebu.
Yeah.
We can pick them up and they can have already room, food, and diving, and even the excursion, everything organized already. If
Okay.
instead they prefer to choose and to go around the island to see if they find something that they like, it's also possible. It's never a problem,
Okay.
except for the peak season. Peak season, if they don't book in advance,
Hmm.
it's really not nice to go in that way. Better to
Okay.
book in advance because they risk to don't find any place, even for
Hmm.
diving.
So it's always better to just book the diving excursions also in advance or
Yeah,
inform about it.
if they are relaxed divers, let's say what we call lazy divers,
Yeah.
and doesn't matter if they dive today or tomorrow, they can even don't book if it's not peak season. If instead they come in Malapascua for diving, scuba diving, better to book, just to be
Yeah.
sure that they get the best options that they prefer. just this.
Yeah. What about apart from the sea itself? Are there any other attractions that the non-divers can go to nearby? Some spots that they can visit, maybe, or a hike or something that they can do?
Sincerely, not very much.
Okay.
Malapascua is really related to the ocean. We have high peak, 30 meters, where they can jump. That it's there are a couple of popular locations where the people can jump from the rock in the water, but more or less there is nothing else, and it's all related to the nature. They can have a walk in the forest, but
Yeah.
since Malapascua is very small, of course, it's a short walk. Let's say if they go very slow, they can take a couple of hours just going around the island, even in the forest. But that's pretty much all that you
Okay.
can do. You can take a boat and you can go making island hopping, so they can see different islands all around.
Hmm.
2 hours by boat is the farthest. That's all. And
Okay.
even that islands are smaller than Malapascua, so they just
Hmm.
can see white beaches and nice ocean, a lot of very nice fishes, turtles, sharks, of course, but that's all, more or less.
Okay.
All around Malapascua, this is. Then
Yeah.
in Cebu, they have waterfalls, they have hiking, but it's 3 hours far from here. Let's say four, because they need also to arrange everything. So 4 hours
Hmm.
from here, then they can arrange for hiking, but of course they need to stay overnight somewhere else.
Okay, yeah. So if you're in Malapascua, then your stay is going to be definitely all about the ocean and the beach. And for anything else, you have to go over to Cebu. Or
Yeah, more or less that's, yeah. Malapascua is ocean, underwater, over the water, but more or less is
yeah,
all.
yeah. Water's the main attraction.
Definitely.
Okay, sounds about right. Definitely, if you're looking for a beach vacation, then it should be all about the beach.
This is, yes. This is definitely a beach location.
Yeah.
Very.
I think with that, I've covered more or less everything that I wanted to know. Is there anything else that you would like your prospective guests to know about?
I think I spoke about everything. Just I want just to focus a little bit because it's something really unusual in the Philippines about this protected area because there are limitations, meaning the people cannot around that area because there is the coral regrowing, so there are rules. But this is a very small bay, and everywhere else it's, even as I told you, just in the back of the rock that you can see in the picture, then they can walk in the beach, play volleyball or play whatever they want with the balls, and kayaking or doing everything they want, bathing and gathering in the water. The only a little bit regulated area is this marine protected area that we founded. So we are really keen on this. We are very proud of this area, and just we want to inform the guests, our potential guests. It's really a paradise, and we ask them to follow some of these rules. Don't bring home the corals, of course. Don't collect shells. Don't collect sand in this small bay. Then
Hmm.
corals, they should not touch anywhere in the world, but I cannot push. This we have
Yeah.
really to stress a little bit our potential guests to know about these few rules that we also respect, of course,
Yeah.
because this is national, actually it should be worldwide law. And that's all.
Yeah, no,
For
that makes a
that,
lot of sense. It's really
yeah,
important to maintain that ecosystem. It's
yes,
fragile.
very
Yeah.
much. Very much. Oh, and something that I want to point out is that Tepanee Beach Resort is the only place in the north of the of Cebu Island, so it's a big area with desalination machines. So from the tap water, you from the taps you have fresh water coming out is drinkable. This is
Oh.
also unusual in the whole Philippines. And of course, we don't suggest the people to drink it because better don't take any risk about pipes, maybe not to track properly. But we have desalination machines. It was a big investment for Tiffany Beach Resort for us. So we are also very proud of informing all our guests that we are not taking any advantage from the natural resources of the island, as
Mm.
well as we have the wastewater treatment. So we are not polluting the island at all. We try
Mm.
to go to the eco. declaration, we try to be listed as eco resort. So we are not, someone maybe they don't like, also this is a disadvantage. We don't provide in the room the small sachet of shampoo or what, because we have big wood containers that of course
Mm,
we provide for shampoo and conditioner and bath soap and hand soaps, but not in plastic wrapping. So we
yeah.
try to eliminate the plastic, we try to eliminate all that kind of things. We go for paper, wood, or whatever is all natural materials, not polluting as much as we can.
Yeah,
Just,
that's a great initiative. Yeah, on your behalf,
yeah,
in terms of
we
both
try.
the
It's also,
desalinization.
I should not say, but it's also very expensive for us, but is giving many rewards personally to us. We are really very proud of that. So,
I think it also reaps rewards in the long term because you're able to protect that natural environment. Definitely, like the sea rewards you for sure.
yeah, hopefully it will work and many people will take the idea and will expand this, we hope.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as of now, we are really very proud of
Yeah. Congratulations on that.
it. This is
Any
the
other
only.
tips or any advice that you would like your guests, prospective guests, to
Uh,
know?
there are practical tips to give, and one is this: if they want to come to Malapascua, they must know that navigation is not allowed in the night. So they can reach Malapascua only if they arrive in the only by boat, unless they have their own boat or an helicopter, of course. If they come by public or private boat from Maya port, that is the port in the mainland, the last trip allowed by the Coast Guard is 5:30 in the afternoon. And the
Okay.
earliest in the morning, it's 6 in the morning. So they must be very careful when they decide to come to Malapascua by their own, to check, because they can be stranded in the pier. Of course, there are places where to sleep. There are some
Mm,
hotel pensions, something like that, because it happened already. And this
mm,
is an information that is not really spreaded very much, but must be known by everybody who wants to visit Malapascua. That's all. That's the only unlucky, the only problem that arise if someone is not well informed, because of course is still daytime, and until a few years ago was possible also to navigate in the night, but then the Coast Guard decided that they don't want to take any risk, especially with foreigner. So in
mm,
the night, it's not easy to see around in the dark. So they don't
mm,
allow boats to cross the ocean. Are only 8 kilometers of ocean, but is not allowed.
So the last boat leaves at 5:30 in the evening.
Yes, yes.
When does the service start? In the morning? 6.
So from
Oh,
6 in the morning to 5:30 in the afternoon, we
mm,
have the. Of course, if it's a medical emergency,
yeah.
we don't have any limitation. For the regular trip, that's the only portion.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a really important piece of information that anyone who's visiting must be aware of.
Yeah, we always inform whenever we receive an inquiry by email, by phone, by WhatsApp, whatever. We always inform. It's also written in our website, but it's recent. It's just few years, but in terms of popularity, it's very recent. This decision of the Coast Guard, so we also
Yeah.
need to inform everybody.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me today, Sylvia. With that, I will wrap up this session. It's been really great talking to you. I hope
Yes,
that the guests will find all the details and the information that you have shared today useful.
thank you very much to you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.